spending time reading the Bible or listening to the words of God is not a waste of time. You won't notice it at first, but as you devote yourself to the scriptures, your life will begin to be transformed, affected in a positive way. The scriptures shape your words, your thoughts, your desires, and your heart to become more aligned with God's will for you. The power of God's words in your life. There are times when we feel lost. We feel like we are going around in circles, that we don't know where to go. We feel like we lost our sense of direction, that our life is a complete mess. But we must never forget that at times like this in our lives, we must feed ourselves with scriptures. God's words gives guidance and direction. Sometimes we become stagnant in terms of our faith, ignoring growth in maturity through His words. Sometimes we also become weak, so as our faith. But remember, the Word of God awakens and strengthens faith. Romans chapter 10 verse 17. Consequently, faith comes from hearing the message, and the message is heard through the word about Christ. Sometimes we feel emptiness that is not satisfied by the world. Thus remember to feed your soul with His words. Matthew chapter 4 verse 4. Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." God's words give nourishment to the soul. Whenever we want to give up, whenever we feel we are hopeless, remember Romans chapter 15 verse 4. Sometimes we seek wisdom. Thus remember that the unfolding of your words gives light. It gives understanding to the simple. Psalms chapter 119 verse 130. God's words is a source of wisdom. This world has become very busy, stressful and worrisome in all aspects. However, as we face another day, we must not part from His words. God's words prolongs life and brings peace and prosperity. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 20 to 22. My son, pay attention to what I say. Turn your ear to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them and health to one's whole body. God's words brings life and healing to one's whole body. Holding on to instructions of God's words give life. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 13. Hold on to instruction, do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life. God's word gives joy to the heart. Psalms chapter 19 verse 8. The precepts of the Lord are right, giving joy to the heart. The commands of the Lord are radiant, giving light to the eyes. The words of God leads to salvation. Romans chapter 1 verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile. The words of God refreshes the soul and gives wisdom. Psalms chapter 19 verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The statutes of the Lord are trustworthy, making wise the simple. The power of God's words in your life.